Right now, you're watching me on video. And because of the lockdown, you're probably watching more video content than ever before. From Zoom chats to YouTube, Netflix or Disney+, video is everywhere, helping us communicate, entertaining us and educating us. My job is to make sure that video has an impact, and not just any impact. I have to ensure that video content has the right impact on the right people. Ultimately, I have to stop people from pausing or scrolling away. Today, I'm going to talk about how I work with businesses, TV companies, art galleries and people to inform, engage and inspire their audiences. My name is Rachel Wang. I'm a filmmaker, a businesswoman and an entrepreneur. I went to Wimbledon High School. I can't say I was the most attentive student. Some might even have called me rebellious. So, in a way, I'm quite surprised to be talking to you today. After school, I tried my hand at many different things, from being a lawyer and an actor and even a corporate financier, but none of them quite fitted me. Then, 18 years ago, I founded a video production company called Chocolate Films. I realised producing films brought together all of my interests and skills, and that running my own company worked perfectly for my personality. Chocolate Films is something I continue to be really proud of. We are a majority female company with a high proportion of black and minority ethnic people in our team. We have bases in London, Glasgow and Berlin and make hundreds of pieces of video content every year. We make video content like documentaries, factual short films and animations. We make many films about art and culture, and we make video content for businesses and charities of all kinds that need strong content for their online presence. Over the years that I've been running Chocolate Films, the whole video industry has changed. When we started, video was filmed and stored on tapes and DVDs, and TV was just network and satellite channels. Now there's a huge variety of platforms and formats for video content. But one constant is that video keeps getting more powerful as a tool to influence, inspire, educate, persuade, shock and entertain. Many studies have shown that it's the most powerful form of communication online. Being a creator of video content means you have a great deal of influence on your audience and therefore a great deal of responsibility for the stories and messages that you send out into the world. When I founded Chocolate Films, I didn't want to just run another production company. I wanted to do things differently. I instinctively wanted to make content that could help make the world a better place. So, we approached charities, museums and arts organisations. Nowadays, we work with a huge range of clients and we help them make a big impact with their content. Nowadays, helping clients achieve an impact is a really complex job. It's creative and inspiring, but the very production of the film is deeply analytical too. It includes understanding not just who the audience is, but what they are doing when they are watching the video. Are they scrolling idly, or have they chosen to watch this? Will they be listening to the audio or watching silently? Will they watch for 10 seconds or 10 minutes? By analysing and understanding all of this information, we can make sure the film content we make is powerful in whatever situation. We'll often make 10 or 20 versions of the same content designed for different experiences. But one of the greatest things about running a business is that you can make it do what you want. And from the outset, I wanted Chocolate Films to achieve 3 specific goals: to inspire, to engage, and to inform. And quite often, making these happen doesn't make traditional business sense. But remember that I said at one point I was a bit of a rebel at school. I think I still have some of these issues with authority, so it didn't stop me. Now I'd like to run through some projects that represent these 3 objectives. And the first is a project that we hope inspires people. It's called 1,000 Londoners. And here's a brief introduction.
父が大好きで、いつも
In 2014, we launched the largest documentary series ever made about a city, 1,000 Londoners. Every week, we create and publish at least one 3-minute film about a Londoner. We also have regular screenings in cinemas and galleries. And one of the last nights before the lockdown began, over 600 people came to watch a selection of our films at Tate Modern as part of Tate Late. And just as a reminder of life pre-lockdown, here's a small video from the night. That feels like a long time ago now. The project was inspired by the way the city is represented and misrepresented in media. We ambitiously set out to create a portrait of the city that shows how real people live in our city now. And what's the impact that we're going for? To inspire people. To inspire people to find out about their neighbours, to learn about their city, to do something different, to open their eyes to this incredible place. The project is a decade-long undertaking. I've chosen one of the 1,000 Londoner films that I think is important to show you today. This is a film about a woman who has been really inspirational to me and who made a great big difference to both London and our entire country, and who sadly passed away just a couple of weeks ago. All of the films are different, so do go on to 1,000 Londoners on our YouTube or website and do have a look around. We publish films once or twice a week, and whilst you probably won't connect with all of them, I can guarantee that some of the people will touch or interest you.
Well, I was brought up with great confidence. I was brought up to feel that nobody could prevent me from doing what I wanted to do. There are changes that you can make without being confrontational, without causing chaos or shouting or screaming. There's no point shouting and screaming because nobody listens. We'd formed the Campaign Against Racial Discrimination in 1964 when Martin Luther King passed through this country. We got the Race Relations Act of '68, which covered employment, and we were looking at ways to enforce the legislation. One of our sponsors was Lord Seif, the owner of Marks and Spencer's, and he was a great supporter of ours. They're a Jewish family. And he understood the discrimination. And because the Jews, even at the time that the blacks came here, lots of Jewish people told me they were glad the blacks came because it took some of the discrimination that they suffered away. There was a time when people did not want black people to touch their clothes or to touch them, even in hospitals. He agreed if we found some pretty West Indian girls, he would employ them. The whole of the Oxford Street, Regent Street area began to look at employing black people in different ways. And that was a great breakthrough for us. After that had happened, I went into Marks and Spencer's in Brixton High Street, and there was a notice up for a large number of vacancies. And I looked around the shop, and there were black customers, white salespeople, white cashiers. And I phoned and applied for a job, and I was given an appointment. And I went in at Saturday morning, said I was here to see Miss So-and-so. She went in, and I don't know what she told this lady, but this lady came out and told me with her face highly flushed because she was embarrassed. All the vacancies are filled. And I said, well, take the notices down. And she said, well, that has nothing to do with you. I said, yes, it does. And I had a letter from Lord Safe. And I just took it out of my handbag and just showed her the top of it. And I allowed her to see up to dear Jocelyn Barrow. If she had a bad heart, she would have fainted. She was, come and sit down. I said, no, I'm not sitting down. I'm here to tell you two things. Take that sign down or fill them with black people. I give you 6 weeks. Otherwise, I'm reporting you to headquarters. And left. Although the main store on Oxford Street was employing black people, she, in the heart of Brixton, was running her own fiefdom, in a way. And it's that sort of curious thing that we had to work through. You just couldn't relax. You had to be vigilant across the country. If you want to achieve something, you can't let people who are pulling at your skirts to pull you down or laying traps to throw you down, prevent you from achieving what you set out to achieve.
Another value that we hold to in our work is to engage people, which is something that we do in many ways. One of the things I am most proud of in my career is that Chocolate Films is a social enterprise. This means that it is a business that wants to change the world for the better. So rather than profit being the overriding goal for the company, we have a wider set of objectives and values. It's a bit like the fair trade for companies. We do this by using profits to subsidise a not-for-profit organisation called Chocolate Films Workshops, which trains young people in filmmaking skills. Whatever their age and experience, we try to inspire and enable young people to be creative and make their own films. We engage with over 3,000 young people each year, offering them training and skills in how to make a film, how to use a camera, how to edit, and how to be on set as a crew. And here's a taste of what we've been up to with them. finally, we want our work to inform people. We want to help people discover and find out more about the world around them. When I was at Wimbledon High School, there wasn't really much in the way of video that we watched at school. I remember that once in a while, a teacher might show us a short film as part of a lesson, and we would all get so very excited. Suddenly, the lesson would get so much more interesting. Usually the films were very dry and Open University style, but they still had a big impact on us as the film brought the topic to life. Now at Chocolate Films, we make films for the BBC and for almost every museum and gallery in London. We have installations in the Science Museum, the Museum of London, the National Space Centre, Biggin Hill Museum, and many, many more. To help these connect with their audience, we've created them in many ways. We've shot them from helicopters and in the sewers. We've had historical planes flying and worked with famous actors like Daniel Radcliffe and presenters like the legendary David Attenborough. We want to create content that makes people want to find out more. So I'd just like to end with one last film that we screened just before the lockdown. We produced the film for the Royal Academy about Pablo Picasso. But this wasn't for any old screen. This was a film for the largest screen in Europe. This was probably the largest scale art documentary ever made. Here is a taste of our fine art film about Pablo Picasso being shown in Piccadilly Circus. I believe that video is such a powerful tool, and right now, the fact that a conference such as this can continue because of video sharing is wonderful. If you'd like to find out more about my work, Chocolate Films and 1,000 Londoners, do check out chocolatefilms.com, chocolatefilmsworkshops.co.uk and 1000londoners.com. Enjoy the rest of the conference.